Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you how I did the epic trials of Dhrak Zum on the hardest level. Team, order, and strategy. And let's take a look. Well, the team we got here is not actually that dangerous, but our team is actually quite interesting. At first glance, it looks like it's kind of terrible. But Christhound is actually really good. Halves an enemy's armor and life, then creates 9 to 13 blue gems. Ice Troll creates a mix of blue and brown equal to the current blue and brown on the board, but we don't use blue, so at first glance this looks like a bit of a bad choice. It's like, what the heck is going on? But King Bloodhammer does damage to the two strongest enemies and transforms all blue gems to Doomskulls to boost the damage, and that's where that blue really comes in handy. Bonebinder at the bottom creates 7 Doomskulls, summons a Dwarven Zombie or Slayer Ghost. Generally not going to cast that, only going to cast that if we need the summon. Otherwise, 7 Doomskulls can be a bit of a Hail Mary, a bit of a risk to cast, and don't want to take risks when there's skulls all over the show. Regarding the enemy, not too much threat over here. This troop here does create 6 skulls boosted by all undead and daemons, both allies and enemies, and it applies to 3 of their team. That's a monster. So Slayer Ghost, Dwarven Zombie, and Dhrak Zum all apply for that. So that'll mean a few extra skulls, but nothing too much to worry about. Dwarven Zombie converts all green gems to brown, then eliminates a rather huge amount of armor boosted by gems converted. But it is armor, and once the armor's gone, it's not going to do actual physical damage to our life, so that's not too much of a threat either. Ice Worm does damage to the last enemy, so that is dangerous, and then creates 7 blue gems. And Slayer Ghost does damage to the weakest enemy, transforms all the skulls to Doom Skulls. So yeah, not too bad. We'll just go through this team in order. And I'm going to leave the order as it is. Christhound is good in first place, reduces damage from skulls by 50%. This is actually very useful for creating loads of blue for our King Bloodhammer, who then will transform all those blue to Doom Skulls. And even Bonebinder, who has our summon, is technically a bit vulnerable at the back. I've found this to be absolutely fine so far. If you find it a bit risky like that, then I'd probably put King Bloodhammer second, Bonebinder third, and then Ice Troll to the back if you want to keep your summoner safe. Regarding medals, it's actually quite interesting because there's 2 ways you can go about it. Because King Bloodhammer is our only main damage dealer, and he does that damage which will be boosted by Nisha medals, you can go about it that way. If you don't have Nishas, or you want to go about it a different way, you can actually add Medals of Seasons or Medal of Arania to increase the attack for all troops. The advantage of this is, because we're concentrated on skulls for this, when we do our damage on the skulls, when we cast this, we do less damage with Medals of Arania and Medals of Seasons on the initial deal X amount of damage to the 2 strongest enemies. But because, excuse me, we're then transforming those skulls, and we've got the increased attack. What you lose in one, you gain in the other. If you go with Nishas, you gain more damage on the initial 2 hits on this, but obviously lose it on every skull hit, whichever you prefer. So let's dive in. It can be a bit of a bloodbath, this, because it's all about getting those skull hits going. But initially, we're going to absolutely concentrate on this fella. Really, really cool. Halves an enemy's armor and life. We can soften all these enemies up. Oh, excuse my cough. One at a time, and then take them out with skulls, hopefully. But we don't want to leave them skull hits if we can, so we'll take skull hits if they're available. And we'll certainly take things like that. But we do want to get our Christhound up. A really cool troop. Let's do it that way. Hopefully they'll leave those yellow. No, they pinched them. We'll do it that way instead. All good. Right, so let's get the first bit of damage. Like, even though we've hit this thing already, I still like to take it out first because it's pretty dangerous. We create a load of blue like that. We've now got this charged and ready to go, and if there's any 4 matches anywhere, which there are absolutely tons, we'll absolutely go for it like that and cause mass obliteration. Don't want to do that yet. Want to get some more charge on the team. I still don't like casting this, even now. There's a lot of skulls, but now I'd rather not. Quite happy to take skull hits as they come along. The cry sound is really good as well when you don't fancy making a move. Like there's quite a few skulls here. You don't want to take that like the AI is suggesting, because it's going to set them up for a skull hit. Here you can just cast that first, halve their life and armor, really, really soften them up. Lots of brown and blue there now, so this is a good chance to cast this. If we get those matches on brown, we're going to charge up our main damage dealer, who's ready to go now. Didn't do us any favours on the blue though, but you can create blue by casting Cry Sound again. So this is one of those funny teams which doesn't look on paper or initially like it's that much cop, but it actually does work really, really well together. Cast it on them. You've got that blue on the board. Didn't get much of a favour from the gem drop gods again, but it's okay. We can still dish out some sufficient punishment. Got the brown now. I'd rather take that. What's that about to do? Convert all green to brown. Eliminate armor. Not too worried about that. I'll grab some of that. Keep a lookout for any 4 matches. You can do this absolutely straight away because it's loads of hits, damage. You can get some cascades just like that. Happy days. Kabooshing them out of there. Not even to think about things too much. Just check for 4 matches again first, or if you can't do that, then there are other options. You can look for a way of taking a skull hit so you don't actually leave them one. I actually left them loads. That was impressive. But if you lose a troop, you can just cast this. Excuse me. And bring in a summon. But we'll just check our 4 matches to skulls first. Nothing doing, so we'll do that. And some of that. A little bit of that. Give them a little taste of that around the chops. And now we've got this. So really, really straightforward. This one is nice and quick. Fairly straightforward to play. And actually quite a lot of fun. But there it is. There's the epic trials done on the hardest level, going skull crazy. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful or helpful, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.